Okay, guys, we want to get to Tauranga. We're going to do 3 races from there, and we'll have one from Rickett and obviously the thoroughbred breeders down there. We're going to start race 1, Steve. How's this market shaping up? I'm going to give you the name. Just bear with me. Bailey's Whakatane 3-year-old, race 1.
You're headed by Stars and Cream, $2.30. Again, a very static market, little turnover to speak of. St. Bethan's in that second line at $3.50. $5.50 Nova Show Canadian Curl, each of 2. Myrtle Creek bouncing between 14 and 15, just back to its original price. Billy Bunter $16 from a shorter quote of 15. Ohio Sunset, not friendless, 26 into 21, so there's one firmer there. And Domides at 41 off a short note of 31. So no strong lead here currently, Thaddeus. Just again, we're talking about these markets at Tauranga, a little bit stifled purely on the unknown track quantity or conditions. But Stars and Cream is a $2.30 fave.
Geez, good win, Stars and Cream. I wondered where it went, BP. It came out and bloused them on debut, didn't it? And then went missing and then came back and won a very strong race.
I have a feeling she might have been maiden of the week, actually, with how she won that very first up run out of Tauranga. Boy, she bolted in that day, didn't she? And she's going to get very similar conditions. I mean, she won by 9 lengths. It was just a race where it was pedal down from Taiki and just kept on running and just blew the rest of them away. If it was either them not handling track conditions or it was a case that she was just too good, whatever it was, she ran them ragged. Now, she's since then has not been able to strike the right track conditions that she's been looking for. She ran a really good race at Counties on a better surface at her 2 starts after that win, when finishing into 3rd position. Then just found herself in no man's land with her 2 following defeats when finishing into 8th position around Ellerslie. Then produced what she did last time to the races, beating home Midnight Mass out of the Tiley barn, who was really well supported going into that race and looks to be a nice progressive type. Just like how she got the job done there on a better surface, but you can just take a little bit of confidence of what she's done at this venue on a heavy track. And as we go through these races, it's going to be a case, will some of these horses be lining up? Where does the track condition end up? And I mean, there are a few, I'm guessing, are on the brink of, hey, look, maybe heavy 10 is not where we want to be heading into the autumn preparation. So keep that in mind with some horses, but I think at least you know with her that she can get through these conditions.
Yeah, she was good last time. Paul, what are your early thoughts here in the 3-year-old?
Well, she does look the one to beat. That was a very good win at Counties against a number of classy types. I don't mind the look of St. Bethan's, though.
Big boy, I liked him too.
And he leapt out of maiden ranks. Was it last time to the races?
Yep.
Also, 3 starts back was 3rd behind Cracker, 3-year-old classic winner, Pin Me Up. So there's a bit of form there to go by. I don't mind the look of him at 350, but I can understand the favouritism around Stars and Cream.
Yeah, you've gone Stars and Cream, Steve, 230. A little bit of a gap there to St. Bethan's, but there looked to be a clear top 4 here. How did you assess it?
There's a bit of a disparity or discrepancy between the market or the pricing team here in Petone, Thaddeus, around Stars and Cream and St. Bethan's. Maybe take a decent set against number 1, St. Bethan's. Just line up its maiden victory. It was clearly the slowest out of the 3 1,400 metre events at Pukekohe on the 12th of March. The overall rating was 3.6 lengths below par St. Bethan's. I know it was okay on the eye, but the question mark again, also rain affected going, yet to tick that box. And when normalising St. Bethan's win v Stars and Cream, which were performed on the same day at Pukekohe, well, 6.3 lengths inferior St. Bethan's v Stars and Cream. So happy to take a set, that $3.50. I've got it drifting quite marginally.
Ooh, you got us on the eye, didn't it then, Paul?
It certainly did.
We've been sucked in, clearly.
Yeah, and well, I hope Steve's right. I hope we do see a little bit of a drift.
Son of Maurice, the Japanese runner.
Exactly.
Sire of a Totsu, the Derby winner. No.
Yeah, it's all there. Look, he's a progressive type, but just on exposed numbers. Okay. And I know lightly raced 3-year-olds can spike in performances, but it's a decent margin to improve in one start, and you can get a nice line on the pure that they're running on the same day, albeit different distances, but a nice guide you can get on the 12th of what was it, 12th of March earlier this month. So, on that score alone, I've just got to take a set against St. Bethan's.
Okay, a clear top 4 here though, BP, and there are a couple more in single figures. Canadian Girl and Nova Show, the consistent Nova Show, and Canadian Girl coming back in trip.
Yeah, that's right. 2 former maiden of the weeks, those 2 runners, in fact, and Canadian Girl. Look, this is an interesting horse, Canadian Girl, because the reason why we made it into the week was what, 2 starts ago when winning at Te Rapa on the 19th of January. Now, look, just one of those races that was one of those classic 3-year-old races or maiden races where there was going to be form bouncing out of it, and we certainly saw that. Out of that particular event. They rolled the dice again following that because, look, she was a possible Oaks-bound horse. They went to the Alice Classic and she was beaten a margin of around 17 lengths. So the fact that she's coming back to the 1400 metres, track condition, look, unknown, she's only lightly raced, almost happy to say that she can be a good little chance in this race with what we've seen from her in a small sample size. And Nova Show too, with look, her efforts behind Mohawk Brave. I mean, you line up that performance there behind Mohawk Brave, who's then come out and run a good race, obviously in the Group 1 on the weekend just gone in the Live-In Classic to finish in the 4th position. She is a horse who can sit on speed and take a position that could be a good thing in her favour, as opposed to St. Bathans, where, look, he's a big boy that we've seen him power up last time to the races, so an inside draw, where does that sit for him? Where does he end up in the run? Does Stars and Cream want to go forward? Of course, we said that she won like that at Tauranga, or does she want to try and camp off them and show her good turn of foot through the wet ground? So certainly an interesting race tactically how it could work out. But yeah, Canadian Girl and Nova Show, I thought they both had their good chances in the race with what we've seen recently.
Paul, it's a little bit of money down the page here for Ohiwa. Ohiwa, I hope I'm saying that right. Ohiwa Sunset. Craig and Sean Phelan. Now that always gets me a bit nervous. That would pique your interest, I would have thought, first up.
Yeah, only has to carry 50 kilos as well. So obviously, when the money comes on, it certainly suggests that there's a wee bit of confidence out there in the market. I can't have it. No. I'm sorry.
There's nothing down that page that interests you though in this race.
I've followed Myrtle Creek for a few weeks now, and she hasn't really sort of taken that step forward that I thought she might. At the $15, I'm tempted to take a top 3 or a top 4, but I just can't look away from the top 2 in the market there, Stars and Cream. And
well, which way did you go? If you were having a bet here, you're thinking Myrtle Creek, a place or top 4. Who's your on top selection here? Yeah,
regardless of Steve's figures, I really did like the look of the one St. Bathans, and I think Sam Weatherly from the one draw will be able to sort of dictate how this race pans out. So I'm happy to jump on at the moment at 350, but if the market does progress as Steve thinks it might, and St. Bathans drifts slightly, happy to take a wee bit more.
We'll have some more.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Very good. BP, where did you settle in the first to 3-year-old?
Look, she was just so good when she won Stars and Cream, her maiden race at this venue. Look, almost kicking myself that I got off. I mean, those last couple of runs, it just suggested, well, it's a hard horse to stick with her recent runs. I was just trying to find that right race to get back on Stars and Cream. Didn't think it was going to be last time to the races. I know a couple of messages come through with some lovely tickets from friends of mine that did keep the faith with her and were able to be rewarded. But this race does look to be a nice fit for her, doesn't it, on this track condition and at this venue. So, look, I'm just trying to keep it simple. If it's a bonus back race, I'm not 100% sure, but normally it is on a Saturday, maybe you can have your little confident bet of her of 50 to win, for instance, because it's up to $50 in bonus bets. And if she doesn't win, well, second, third and fourth, and you can have another roll of the dice again. So that's the way I'd be looking to try and play it.
Yeah, okay, Stars and Cream bonus back race. We'll probably touch on this later, won't we? But
we will, but yes.
Yeah, okay, yes. Just quietly, between you and I. Okay. Steve, any final thoughts here before we move? You sound pretty keen on the favour.
Yeah, I'm very keen, and I'll mention that later in the show. I think Nova Show probably in the Matt leads here. Michael McNabb, who's just in a purple patch of form. And I've got Stars and Cream. There's the second outer if it wants to be in that position, and we know early doors at Tauranga it can play slight biased on-speed runners. So maybe those two in a Quinella bet is a nice little option as well. But I think Stars and Cream, look, I've marked around about 54% chance. I think she trades on the red on race day. And BP, Kelsey Hannon, first ride, I believe. Do you know much about Kelsey?
Gee, I don't actually.
Beautiful. I love that. Yeah,
no. I will just let that one go through to the keeper, actually, Stephen. Look, I honestly don't. And not been on track as much. Those sort of things can easily get passed by. So, no. Maybe Aidan, if he's watching live, let me know. You'll
Yeah,
know.
text Fox. Of course he will. The Oracle, Aidan Rodley. He never misses a show. Never misses a show. Okay, the boys pretty keen. Stars and Cream. Paul giving St Bathans a big chance. He's going to step in when we see $4 around St Bathans.